Hi everyone, welcome to End of the World Weekly. Let me tell you how this show works. I'm Newsbot 29000. I'm a robot from the post-apocalyptic future. I've been programmed to send these broadcasts into the past in hopes that you Earth humans can avoid all the calamities that led to the end of the world. Okay, got it? Good. So let me tell you about some of your current events and how they spiral out of control and bring about the apocalypse. The biggest night in Hollywood was last Sunday when the 89th Academy Awards ceremony was presented by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, an overly pretentious and fitting name. Actors from all over the globe descended on Hollywood to give themselves and each other extended congratulatory handjobs for the brave sacrifices they made and the stand against injustice that they took. By the end of the ceremony, the presenters were so high off their own smug that they couldn't even read the teleprompter. Rodrigo Duterte continued his war on drugs in the Philippines last week, saying that he would kill his own children if they became addicts. Critics condemned his escalated rhetoric, calling it hogwash and poppycock, but were silenced when it was learned that Duterte had already murdered two of his own children for much lesser offenses. One for complaining about what the family was having for dinner, and the other for mourning the passing of 80s pop star George Michael for what Duterte deemed was too long. Monday, fast food chain Wendys announced it would install self-ordering kiosks in 1,000 stores across America. After a successful test run at these 1,000 locations, Wendys replaced all of their cashiers with these touchscreen displays. The machines had a good track record of taking accurate orders, but customers still complained of mix-ups due to the human cooks in the kitchen, which of course led to robots taking all of those jobs away from red-blooded Americans, and it was only a matter of time before the rest of the fast food industry followed suit. Americans didn't take kindly to having their jobs stolen from them like that, but unlucky for them, while working in the kitchen, robots were becoming very skilled with knives. On Monday, SpaceX announced it would send 2 civilians around the moon in late 2018. The deep-pocketed space tourists wished to remain anonymous, but it was eventually leaked that it was none other than billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne and the Monopoly man himself, Rich Uncle Pennybags. Suspiciously absent the week those two were in space, Batman and people going bankrupt on Boardwalk. On Tuesday, Trump said, "Sometimes it's the reverse," when addressing the recent bomb threats and vandalism occurring at Jewish centers across the nation, essentially saying the attacks were being committed by Jewish people and Democrats to make red-blooded Americans look bad. Refusing to take the blame for the uptick in violence towards minorities and unable to say anything bad about the white anger that got him elected, Trump was having his cake and eating it too. The only way Trump knew how to enjoy cake. Oh, it tastes so much better knowing that nobody else can have any. And that brings us to our Alternative Facts of the Week segment. Let's get started. Alternative fact number 1. Donald Trump didn't own any guns, but he desperately wanted to. So Tuesday evening, he signed a bill that made it easier for mentally ill Americans to obtain guns. Alternative fact number 2. On Tuesday, Amazon shut down major portions of the internet after noticing strange goings-ons that they were afraid was a computer becoming self-aware. Lucky for you Earth humans, it just ended up being the latest viral sensation, a cute cat cooking a wiener. Alternative fact number 3. After getting caught creating millions of accounts that were never authorized by customers, Wells Fargo announced that their top execs would not be receiving any cash bonuses for the year 2016. The banking giant additionally punished their leaders by paying them hundreds of millions of dollars for their annual salaries. Alternative fact number 4. Nintendo's new video game console, the Switch, was released on Friday. The product's name was meant to symbolize Nintendo's switch from a video game company into bankruptcy. Alternative fact number 5. After finding a cockroach in Trump Tower, Donald got confused and complained at length about Obama bugging his home. If you have any alternative facts you'd like to see on the show, leave them in the comments and maybe I'll talk about them next week. After seeing the success of Dr. Chuck Tingle, the Obamas signed a book deal with Penguin Random House to capitalize on the stream of conscious eroticism trend that was sweeping the literary world. Tingle, of course, was best remembered for such timeless classics as My Billionaire Triceratops Craves Gay Ass, I'm Gay for My Loving Billionaire Jet Plane, and Angry Man Pounded by the Fear of His Latent Gayness Over a Dinosaur Transitioning into a Unicorn. The former president chose the pen name Barry, oh God, yes, and put out his first book in 21 days, titled Abe's Ghost Haunts the Lincoln Bedroom, and It Feels Great to Be Inside the Hole in His Head. Sergei Kislyak, Russia's ambassador to the U.S. accused all of the Democrats calling for Jeff Sessions' resignation of being on a witch hunt. On Friday, the newly appointed Attorney General explained that he simply contacted the Russian ambassador in December to say thank you for all the help during the campaign. You see, no big deal. And the reason Sessions forgot to mention it in his confirmation hearings was because he was starting to show the first stages of Alzheimer's. Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, Jared Kushner, also had a secret meeting with the Russian ambassador back in December. The meeting took place in Trump Tower and was also attended by former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Mr. Kushner told Mr. Kislak he would need to dress up as Santa Claus to sneak him into the building. Kislak loved the idea and really got into character by handing out traditional Russian gifts like vodka, nesting dolls, and an untraceable cell phone for important calls. A movie theater in Alabama announced they wouldn't be showing Disney's new live-action adaptation of Beauty and the Beast because of one of the characters being gay. The theater announced they would only show wholesome movies that don't include sex, nudity, homosexuality, foul language, or tolerance. In a Facebook post describing the decision, the owner of the theater said, "If I can't sit through a movie with God or Jesus sitting by me, then we have no business showing it." Because we all know what God and Jesus are infamous for doing in the back of a movie theater. Cut a hole in the popcorn bag because after a couple of milk duds, you know those guys put out. God was so impressed with the owner's intolerance that he raptured the old man right then and there. Well, that does it for this episode of End of the World Weekly. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. We also have a Twitter feed. You can follow me there. Any comments left here or at the Twitter feed, I'll be sure to put them in the scrolling text in the bottom of the screen in next week's episode. Also, feel free to leave a comment about your alternative facts, and I'll put them in that segment if I like them. Thanks again for watching. See you next week. Bye!
Delicious.